Hello everyone, a very good afternoon. I would like to first apologize sincerely for a couple of minutes delay that we faced. I was facing some technical difficulty and I had to fix it before I get started with today's session. So hi, welcome, and thank you for taking the time to attend today's AD Self-Service Plus workshop. I'm hoping that you're all doing great today. So to those of you who did not attend the previous session, hi, this is Sharda from the marketing team of ManageEngine. I am a product expert in AD Self-Service Plus, and I will be your presenter for today. I hope my voice is audible and the display is well and clear. Please let me know in the chat box immediately if not. So yes, to those of you who attended the previous session, I'm sure you already know how to get working with the AD Self-Service Plus workshop setup. And for the others, what I'm going to do is quickly share the AD Self-Service Plus workshop link in the chat box. So please access the link and explore AD Self-Service Plus as we work with it. The username will be user and the password will be workshop with W in uppercasing. So you can access the AD Self-Service Plus workshop setup as we're working with today's session. And yes, you can simultaneously see how things work in the AD Self-Service Plus environment. So today we are going to be talking about enrollment. So the previous session we had was about the importance of empowering users to password self-service. We discussed about the different multi-factor authenticators. We also saw how you can customize policies and customize self-service policies based on OUs and groups present in the Active Directory. And we also spoke about how users can be entitled to complete password self-service only if they have enrolled with AD Self-Service Plus. So today's session is going to be dedicated to enrollment, the importance of enrollment, and how you as administrators can ensure 100% enrollment. So yes, what I'm going to do now is quickly jump to today's agenda and give you a quick recap of what you can expect in today's session. And then we can get started working with the importance of enrollment. So the way that AD Self-Service Plus functions is that it requires users to enroll with AD Self-Service Plus. So what do I mean by enroll with AD Self-Service Plus? So when a user logs in and accesses AD Self-Service Plus for the very first time, which I am going to demonstrate right now, they will be required to enroll with AD Self-Service Plus. What you see on your screen is the user Sharda who's already enrolled with AD Self-Service Plus. We made this work yesterday, but why a user should enroll with AD Self-Service Plus is because these act as your user identity verification during a password reset process. They act as your user identity verification during two-factor authentication as well. So it is important for users to enroll with AD Self-Service Plus, and if they do not do it during a password reset process or during any other self-service action that takes place, they will be denied access to go forward with that particular action. For instance, if I'm trying to reset my password as the user Sharada, and only if I have enrolled with AD Self-Service Plus, I will be able to proceed with the verification code method of enrollment in order to verify my user identity so I can go forward to the next step where I can reset my password. So this is why enrolling users with AD Self-Service Plus is important. So we are going to start with the basic enrollment notification. The first step that we can do, send in a welcome mail to all users saying, hey, we have deployed a self-service password management solution. Please ensure that you enroll in order to enjoy the benefits of password self-service. So that is how you start notifying users about AD Self-Service Plus and also ensure that they enroll with it. Also, this is what we mean by enrollment notification, in which a user, after receiving the notification, will have to manually enroll with AD Self-Service Plus. So by manual enrollment, I mean that they will have to give the answer to the security questions or choose the verification email and mobile number or add more details, or in case of Google Authenticator or Duo Security or any other authenticators that have been enabled by you, the administrator, they have the responsibility to complete the configuration after logging in to the end user portal. All right. So this is the first step that you as administrators can ensure that users enroll with AD Self-Service Plus. Let's move on and have a quick look at what automatic enrollment methods AD Self-Service Plus supports. So when we're talking about deploying AD Self-Service Plus for user organizations, for instance, say 500 to 1,000, we cannot guarantee that all the users will definitely enroll after receiving the enrollment notification. In this case, what you as administrators can do is collect all these information from the users that you already have, probably in the HR department of your organization, and make use of any of the methods that we support, that is CSV file update or an external data source update, and key in all the data into AD Self-Service Plus. Let AD Self-Service Plus automatically enroll these users for you. So in this case, what happens is that users are not denied of password self-service and can always be intimated later about enrolling with a more secure method. So we're going to see how that works as well. And then finally, the last retort that you can abide to is force users to enroll with AD Self-Service Plus. So this force user enrollment can happen with a logon script. You can pop a logon script on the user screen at a particular time. You can set up a scheduler and ensure that they do not miss logging into AD Self-Service Plus end user portal and enrolling with the multi-factor authentication that has been enabled. Also, I stressed on this yesterday as well, and I'm going to say that again today. Though we hand over the torch of password self-service to users, we have the responsibility as administrators or help desk technicians to monitor what is going on in our environment with respect to passwords. We have the responsibility to take care of what is happening in our environment, the Windows logon environment, the Windows Active Directory, with respect to password management, and AD Self-Service Plus definitely helps you do this very well, and it is done by giving you an in-detail report. We notify users. You can also be notified about user self-service actions, and at the same time keep track of all that is happening in your user's environment with the help of built-in reports. All right, so that is enough talking. I'm going to quickly jump and get started working with AD Self-Service Plus. I highly recommend you to make use of the workshop setup. You can get the details available in the chat box for you. And if you have any questions during the session, please don't worry. You can pop in the questions in the questions tab. I will take time to answer the questions during the session itself or right after the session. The last 10 minutes is dedicated for a question answer session. Also, we have the video recording of this session available online. So if you would personally like to receive a copy, all you have to do is drop in your mail contact in the questions tab allocated, and I will ensure that the copy of this particular workshop reaches you. All right, so let's get started working with enrollment, working with AD Self-Service Plus. I am going to jump to the configuration tab, and under administrative tools is what we have. It's called quick enrollment. We are going to make use of all these features to ensure that users enroll with AD Self-Service Plus quickly. And believe me when I say quickly, this is going to take a couple of seconds, literally, to enroll users in bulk. All right, so I am going to start with the first step that any organization would adopt to, and that is to notify users about deploying AD Self-Service Plus. So a quick brief about AD Self-Service Plus. the workshop series and how it's devised. So what we have tried to do is sort it based on how you would get started working with AD Self-Service Plus. So if you're somebody who already make use of AD Self-Service Plus, these might seem pretty obvious to you. But for the others, this workshop series is devised in such a way that you start working with AD Self-Service Plus and that is start from deploying AD Self-Service Plus, which was the previous session, and move forward step by step as you get started working with AD Self-Service Plus. So we saw how to empower users to password self-service yesterday, the prime focus of this application. And today we're going to be talking about enrollment. So as soon as you deploy AD Self-Service Plus, what are you required to do? What are users in your organization required to do is all that we're going to be talking about today. All right, so what you see on your screen is a customized enrollment notification scheduler. So I am going to refine this to users belonging to the OU Sharada. It is going to be an email notification. I want users to receive an email. I have pre-configured the mail server settings. If you remember, it is in the administrator tab. Under product settings and under server settings is where you configure the mail settings. Jumping back to quick enrollment. So yes, the mail server settings is pre-configured and we are going to make the subject read form enrollment requisition. The mail content is given here. Like I said, the message reads, we have deployed a password self-service tool. And it goes on with an access URL and details on how to enroll. So what I'm going to do now is send this mail. I am going to shoot this mail out to all the users. So you can also check the notification delivery report under the reports tab. And you can also schedule notification periodically. So in this way, you ensure that users are reminded on a periodic basis and they do not miss out enrolling with this self-service password and user self-service management application. All right, so I've triggered a notification scheduler. What I'm going to do is jump to the reports tab, have a look at the users who've already enrolled with AD Self-Service Plus. So I see only one user here, which is Sharada. So only Sharada is enrolled, and I am going to take a quick look at the non-enrolled user reports and refine it to the OU that I'm working with for this particular workshop, which is under my name. So there are so many users who still haven't enrolled with AD Self-Service Plus. So what I've done in the background, quickly explaining that as well for all of you who are new, what I've done in the background is created multiple users trying to depict an organizational structure. And for my convenience, I've added one single mail ID for all these users, which is sharda.workshop@gmail.com. I'm sorry about that. One single mail address, sharda.workshop@gmail.com. So all I have to do is access one single mail address right now to check how many users have received the notification. So starting from Tom Joes, it's Brian, Adam, Syra, Franco, Enrique. Yes, pretty much all the users that we saw in the report have received the enrollment notification. And it says we have deployed a password self-service tool. You can take care of your passwords without help desk intervention. And also links to how to enroll using a mobile as well as the enrollment link right here. So what a user would do after receiving this enrollment notification is click on the link and they will access the AD Self-Service Plus page. Also, this particular display page is customizable. You can ensure that only the end user login is available in the first page. And what I'm going to do now is try and log in as one of these users. So let's log in as, say, Adam. I'm going to log in as Adam. And when I log in as Adam, I have a message which says, welcome to this portal and also enroll to enjoy these benefits. So this will give you an idea of why enrollment is important. Users will be able to take care of password self-service, self-service of account unlocks and directory updates when they have enrolled with AD Self-Service Plus. So I'm redirected to the enrollment tab where security questions is enabled. I am going to choose a question, my favorite color, and the country I dream of vacationing in, answer them, and click on Enroll. This is how simple it is for a user to enroll with AD Self-Service Plus right after receiving the enrollment notification. This is going to take a couple of minutes literally, so you can get started working with AD Self-Service Plus and ensure that all users in your organization have complete password self-service, the freedom to complete password self-service in less than an hour, literally. So this is one major advantage. And like I said, please make use of the workshop setup and explore these options as I go through the step-by-step instruction of how you can enroll with AD Self-Service Plus, so you get a hands-on experience of how this works. So, all right, what I'm going to do now is jump back to the AD Self-Service Plus portal and not trust the enrollment notification and check if the update has actually happened. Yes, Adam has enrolled with AD Self-Service Plus. And I also had a question yesterday about the security questions being asterisked or encrypted. Yes, it is. And I have another question right now. So the question reads, is it possible to mention full name or display name instead of username for email notification? The email notification can be customized the way you want. And yes, it is possible, but it also depends on what format it is available in your Active Directory. So if the username available in the Active Directory reads Adam Syra or the username or however you want it to, you can customize it. But the attributes are fetched from Active Directory, so you need to customize it in your organization's Active Directory as well. So if I remember right, I had this one particular query recently where somebody asked me that we use a couple of digit combinations to address users and not usernames for security purposes. So it's basically dear 13758 instead of Brian or Adam. So something like employee ID instead of using names. So yes, mails can be customized in that way as well. I hope I've answered your question. Thank you. Jumping back, the security question answer report will tell you which user is enrolled. You can also not view the answer, but you can export these reports. You can download them in your comfortable format and do a couple of other things as well. So that is about enrolling with security question answers and enrolling manually after receiving an enrollment notification. So what I'm going to do now is try and check if the security question answer has been enabled for all the other methods. So how I do that is under self-service, I jump to multi-factor authentication and see or choose a policy. So this is what I mean by enrollment methods. So under multi-factor authentication, you can customize the enrollment methods for users. So for instance, I choose the policy HR and say I give verification code method of enrollment for users belonging to HR. Then a user belonging to the organizational unit or group HR has to enroll with either of these methods. And that is what we're trying to do. We are trying to strengthen the password reset process. We're trying to strengthen the account unlock process. We're trying to strengthen logging in with the help of multi-factor and two-factor authenticators. And this can be done using AD Self-Service Plus right here under self-service under policy configuration specific to OUs and groups present in your Active Directory. So jumping back and moving on to the next method of enrollment. So now we saw how to ensure users manually enroll with AD Self-Service Plus. So that is one check against manual enrollment. Now I'm going to move on and see how we can ensure that users are automatically enrolled, for which I am going to start with importing enrollment data from a CSV file. So I am talking about bulk enrollment where you as an organization already have the user's data. So what I'm going to do now is customize this particular enrollment data from a CSV file screen. I am going to quickly open the notepad. I have one particular user, Daniel, and a SAM account's name, question and answer format. So what I'm going to do now is choose the policy. Let me quickly check which policy Daniel belongs to. So Daniel belongs to HR. I am going to choose the policy HR, import the question and answer. So if you see, this is either the verification code, the duo security, or the question answer method for importing user data in bulk. There's also a sample CSV file which will guide you to set up your CSV file. And once the CSV file is done, all you have to do is choose the file. That's what I'm going to do. You can also choose a method of encoding, overwrite enrollment data. I've already enrolled. We know that Daniel is not enrolled. Click on enroll. The enrollment action is complete. Close this particular thing. Yes, it says successfully enrolled. Once again, I am going to definitely cross-verify this with the reports tab. And under enroll user reports, I see Daniel's name. And to reassure, we had only Daniel's name available in the CSV file here. So also letting you know when this actually comes in handy or when this really comes into use is that when you periodically have new additions of users joining your organization and you still have a couple of users who are new but still haven't enrolled with the AD Self-Service Plus application, which you've already deployed, you can make use of this particular method. You can automatically enroll new users into the enrollment list, enroll users report list, and all you have to do is ensure that you notify them about this particular method of enrollment. So like I said, we support security question answers, verification code, and Duo security, but I would highly recommend Duo security and then verification code, primarily because of the security aspect of it. Because simple questions like what is your favorite sport or what is your favorite color and things like that are easy to crack and easy to guess. I mean, that is not what we're trying to do. We're trying to improve security, at the same time make the reset process or the login process easy for users. So let it be something like a device that the user already owns, a mobile authentication, or a verification code sent to email or SMS, which is definitely a personal device that the user uses or a personal account that the user uses, in order to ensure that the security aspect of this is not compromised. Also, I'm going to show that Daniel's security question answer is available right here. His favorite sport with an answer. So the next time Daniel tries to go through a password reset process, hoping I get the captcha right this time, he can choose. If you remember, I had enabled both security question answer and verification code for Daniel or users belonging to the organizational unit HR. And I can choose to verify my identity either via the verification code, which is automatically fetched from the Active Directory attribute, or my security question answer. So let me go through security question answer right now. 3RF and then entering my captcha, I have a question to my favorite sport. And once I answer this question, I will be able to go through a successful password reset operation. So this is how simple it is to ensure that users are automatically enrolled with the data that is already available with you, available with your organization. Simple things like a favorite sport or something like a mobile number or an email address, or the Duo security if you work with Duo security in your organization. And this will ensure that users do not have to contact the help desk for assistance. All right, so let's look at the other method of enrollment, the other method of automatic enrollment, which is importing data from an external database. Yes, we support importing data from an external database. But the condition here is that the AD Self-Service Plus machine should have permission to access the database server. So if you have any trouble working with any of the feature under the AD Self-Service Plus console, this is where you have to head to. We have a dedicated help document for each and every feature, each and every aspect of AD Self-Service Plus, a stepwise instruction guide to help you configure with ease. And we also have a dedicated support team at your disposal. You can always contact them. They are the product experts. I would confidently say that they will resolve your queries very, very quickly. So if you have any trouble setting up any of this, you can definitely contact the support team and the help desk. The help document that is available. All right, so I'm going to go about and try to import data from an external database that I have. I am going to name the connection as test. DB server is MS SQL. I'm going to key in the host name, give the port ID. So these are details that you need to gather before you get started working. I am giving the DB name. I'm going to use the Windows authentication. My domain name is this, and yes, I have to key in my username and password to complete the connection. Yes, I have successfully established a DB source. So what I do next is add a data enrollment fetcher, which is what I'm going to do now. So I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to name it test. And okay, what I'm going to do now is quickly show you the image capture of the DB that I am working with. So I've captured this along with the query and the results. So this is the DB that I'm working with. And what I'm going to do now is make use of the same query to import the enrollment data. So the other important factor is that you need to know the query. You need to know the SQL query to bring in the information. So the organizational unit that I'm working with is finance. I'm going to import Andy's data right now. So I'm just showing you one user just to give you an idea of how this works, but this works in bulk. This works really well in bulk. So what I'm trying to say here is that you can literally enroll 500 users at once. You can literally enroll 1,000 users at once or maybe more, as long as you have all the data available with you in the database, as well as the right SQL query, which is very, very important. So I'm going to overwrite enrollment data I've already enrolled and click on fetch before I save it. So you can see that the user details have been fetched. Andy, his favorite color, and that is what is available here as well. The answer is available in the database, but is naturally not displayed in AD Self-Service Plus. I am going to click on update. And once the enrollment is successful, let me jump to the reports tab, go to enroll users, show you that Andy has been enrolled with AD Self-Service Plus. And I'm also going to reconfirm the security question answer, which is asterisk for security reason, and the question is available here. And that is the same question that is available in the database as well. So this is how simple it is for you as administrators to ensure automatic enrollment with AD Self-Service Plus. I'm sure all this seems very easy when you're working with. You might probably have a little difficulty setting it up for the very first time. But trust me, once you're done with the configuration, once you're used to the configuration, once you've set it up, this is extremely simple. You can set up schedulers, you can set up fetchers periodically and fetch enrollment data. You can add new fetchers. So you can see this is a secondary fetcher. So yes, you can go about and add or schedule fetchers. You can schedule fetchers at a particular time. You can customize it. You can automate the fetching process. So yes, you can ensure 100% enrollment as administrators, and I would definitely recommend the automatic enrollment if you're working with bulk users and the external database method more so. All right, so we have gone through how to go about with notifying users about their enrollment process and how to help them manually enroll with AD Self-Service Plus after receiving the enrollment notification. Also, we saw how you as an administrator can automatically enroll users using a scheduler for importing enrollment data either from a CSV file or an external data source. I'm sure you had a smooth session until now and had no doubts about how to get started importing enrollment data or sending enrollment notification. I would also recommend you to work with AD Self-Service Plus, download AD Self-Service Plus, and work with AD Self-Service Plus for users in your organization for a particular domain or a couple of users at least, and see if this works for you and see how simple it is to deploy and get started working with. And then you will know if you're facing any trouble or if you have any problem working with this particular application. We also saw how the enrollment status in the built-in report is updated real time, and you have an in-depth insight into all the enrollment data that is available. So basically everything happens real time: password resets, password updates, enrollments, enrollment data being fetched. Everything happens real time with AD Self-Service Plus. So now we're going to look at the last option. The couple of users who do not enroll with AD Self-Service Plus in spite of continuous notification, the users who do not enroll, who cannot be enrolled with automatic enrollment because you probably don't have their details. What do we do with these users? I don't want them calling the help desk and saying, hey, can you please help me with a password reset? So what I'm going to do is force these users to enroll with a logon script. So what I'm going to do now is show you how to set up a logon script. I'm not sure if the logon script is going to pop up right away because it is scheduled on an hourly basis. So I am going to set up a scheduler under the name test. The description is also going to be test. The scheduler is going to read, we see that you're yet to enroll with AD Self-Service Plus. Please enroll now to avail yourself of password self-service. You can quickly check the configuration access URL. Yes, it is right. And yes, let me give it for the policy admin. Okay, let me quickly check if I have non-enrolled users and then schedule this. Okay, let me just give it for the policy admin. What I'm going to do now is try and set it to the time zone I'm in, 12 hours and 5 minutes. So yes, I'm going to see if this enrollment notification pops up in the next 5 minutes for a particular user belonging to admin. But in the meantime, let me talk about this particular checkbox right here. So when you force users to enroll when they log into the domain, what happens is that they cannot go about doing any other actions without enrolling with AD Self-Service Plus. So if you have users who you definitely require to enroll but still haven't, then you definitely have to make use of this particular option. Otherwise, there's just an enrollment logon script pop up on the screen as soon as a user logs in with AD Self-Service Plus. All right, so I'm going to see if I can show you the logon script popping up for one of the users who have not enrolled. So taking a quick look at the non-enrolled users specific to the organizational unit or self-service policy admin. I am going to regenerate this. And yeah, let me try and log in as Syra and see if I am actually able to see the enrollment notification in the next couple of minutes. But in the meantime, what I'm going to do is try and log in as Syra. and show you what happens if a user fails to enroll with ED Self-Service Plus. So Syra has an enrollment notification. Syra has a verification code method enabled. So this was basically what I spoke about in the previous session. If a user fails to enroll with AD Self-Service Plus, you needn't really worry because the verification code method of enrollment is one method where users can go about with a password reset process without having to enroll with AD Self-Service Plus. So, I mean, you can implement an enrollment-free password reset using the Active Directory mail and mobile attributes, and this can be done only with the verification code method of enrollment. So, Syra gets to choose her mail ID and click on continue, and the verification code is sent to her mail ID. Dear Syra, and I have a code here. I'm going to quickly copy paste the code and go through a password reset process. Clicking on continue. Looks like I've got the captcha wrong once again. Is there a 9 or a G? I have no idea. I'm just going to go with 9. This is more like a test to my eyesight. Also, speaking about the captcha, you have a choice to disable captcha, but it definitely adds on security. So yes, you can see that I am redirected to the reset password page. So all Syra needs to do is choose her new password and enter the captcha and go about with the password reset operation. So now what happens is that when I go to the reports tab and go to enroll users report, Syra is automatically enrolled because she verified her identity via the verification code. She proved that she is Syra, basically. So yes, the verification code during authentication also automatically enrolls users, which is the only enrollment-free password reset that can be done. And this is only because the default mail and mobile attributes present in the Active Directory is automatically fetched. So what I'm going to do is try and check a policy that does not have verification code enabled, finance. So finance has only security question answer enabled. I am going to pick a user from finance, say Brian. I'm going to see what happens when Brian tries to go through a password reset operation. What do you think will happen? Yes, pretty simple and straightforward. Brian will have a message which says you're required to enroll with security question answers, so please do. And if you haven't, contact your administrator in case you don't remember your password. So this is where the trouble is. We do not want users to contact the administrator or the IT help desk or the IT security team in your organization with a help desk call for a simple password reset operation. So all you do is enable the verification code by default, which is the easy way because users will definitely have access to their mobile and email address even if they fail to enroll with ED Self-Service Plus. And the other added advantage is it is much secure than the security question answer. The verification code is proven to be a much better authentication method than the native, most widely used security question answer. So yes, I am going to quickly see if I can probably log in as another user and see if the logon script has popped up non-enrolled users belonging to finance. Let me try and log in as Edward and see if it works. I am going to try and log in as Edward. All right. So this is a no end tunnel for me. It says that the user's account password is already expired. So this is definitely going to be a help desk call. But what you can do with AD Self-Service Plus, I'm going to take this as an opportunity to show you what you can do with AD Self-Service Plus. You can go through a password reset process for Edward with the default enabled method, which is the verification code. Verification code was enabled for users belonging to HR, and I'm going to make advantage of that particular opportunity and go about and save Edward from his password expired account. So yes, I am going to reset Ed's password. I hope I've given the captcha right. And there you go. My password has been reset successfully. Let us also check this with the reports tab available here, password expired users. I am going to filter this to Sharada, and thank you, Ed is not here in the list anymore. So yes, this is the advantage of password self-service. This is what users actually require in your organization. And when we already have password self-service for all our cloud applications and most of the other applications that we use in our organization, we take care of our own Facebook passwords, Twitter passwords, we take care of our own mail account passwords. So why not our Windows logon password as well? Why not empower users in your organization to take care of their own password reset process? And that is exactly why you need a solution like AD Self-Service Plus, because the native Windows logon tool, the Active Directory, does not support it, does not give you the opportunity to self-service your passwords. All right, with that said, I have come to the end of today's session. I'm going to give you a quick recap before we close or go further to take the questions. We started the session talking about different types of enrollment, which is the manual enrollment, the automatic enrollment, and forced enrollment. So the manual enrollment is notifying users to enroll with AD Self-Service Plus via mail or push notification. And this will ensure that users manually enroll with the enabled multi-factor authenticator after logging into the AD Self-Service Plus screen. So we did this for the user Adam. And then we moved on to look at automatic enrollment. There are two methods you can enroll users automatically as administrators. One is the CSV file import, for which we made use of the security question answer and made sure that Daniel was enrolled with AD Self-Service Plus. And the other is making use of an external database. So we support MySQL, MS SQL, and a couple of other databases as well. And you can go ahead and import bulk enrollment data. We saw an example of Andy, and once again, we used the basic security question answer. We also saw how to customize a forced logon script, forced enrollment method using a logon script and schedule it for a particular time. You can also automate the process and check the force enrollment box so users cannot go about doing any other process without enrolling with AD Self-Service Plus. Also keep track of all that is going on with respect to enrollment in your environment with the help of the dedicated reports tab, with the help of built-in reports. And finally, the other side, the flip side to non-enrolled users, you can implement enrollment-free password reset with the help of the default mail and mobile attributes. And what I mean to say by this is by making use of the verification code method of enrollment, you can ensure that users have a seamless password reset process. So we spoke in detail about password reset for your Active Directory, and you can look forward to password reset for other on-premises and cloud applications in the upcoming sessions. Yes, we are going to be talking about password synchronization and single sign-on in the upcoming session. With that said, I have come to the end of today's session. Thank you so much for being a wonderful audience. Please keep your questions coming in the questions tab. I hope you had a good experience using the workshop setup that was given to you. Please rate your experience in the feedback form that will be sent to you right after this session, and note down your suggestions or feedback of what you're looking forward to with respect to the session, so I can ensure that you have a great experience of making use of AD Self-Service Plus in your environment. Also looking forward to seeing you all tomorrow on a very interesting session. We are going to be talking about Active Directory and cloud application password management tomorrow with password synchronization and single sign-on with AD Self-Service Plus. So yes, thank you once again for being an amazing audience. Thank you for taking time away from your busy schedule. You can always drop in a mail to me. I am sharda@manageengine.com. You can also reach out to our support team if you have any problem setting up or configuring AD Self-Service Plus. You can contact them at support@adselfserviceplus.com. If you require a copy of this particular session, please drop in your mail IDs as well in the questions tab or chat box that is allocated to you. On that note, I'm signing off for today. Thank you so much once again for taking time away from your busy schedule. I hope you had a great session. I'm going to take time to answer all your questions right now. On that note, this is Sharda, product expert in AD Self-Service Plus from the marketing team of ManageEngine, signing off. Have a great day ahead.